AITA for not wanting to share my lottery win with my siblings. And now my family is furious with me? I, 34F, won the lottery. And no, not the buy a private island kind of jackpot, but still a solid win that could change things for me and my son. Maybe even take us out of the tight financial space we've been in for years. The way it happened was almost laughable. I was on one of those rushed grocery trips, the kind where you barely remember what's in your cart. Milk, bread, maybe a pack of Oreos because, hey, I deserve it. Right by the register, I saw the lottery tickets, and on a whim, I grabbed one. I figured, why not? It's just a couple of bucks. It's not like I ever played regularly or expected anything. Fast forward a few days. I'm going through my mail with a coffee in one hand, not even fully awake, when I see that ticket shoved in between some bills. Out of sheer curiosity, or let's be real, boredom, I decide to check it. I went through the numbers maybe 5 times, thinking no way. I was in shock. I kept rechecking, sitting there like a statue, trying to process what this could mean. This kind of stuff doesn't happen to people like me. I'm a single mom with a child who needs a lot of support. Winning the lottery feels like something out of a movie. My first instinct was to call my mom, who I hoped would share in the excitement. At first, she did seem happy, but then, almost immediately, she started talking about family and how this could be a blessing for all of us. She barely paused before asking, "So, you're going to share it with the family, right?" Now, this is where things get messy. Some background. My family dynamics have always been complicated. I have 2 siblings, an older brother and a younger sister. And while I love them, we've never been particularly close. When I had my son, who has autism and requires a lot of extra care, I pretty much had to do everything alone. Financially, emotionally, even just for the occasional break. I was on my own. My brother and sister, they didn't check in or offer any support. They've always been wrapped up in their own lives. And my mom, while she loves me, hasn't really been there for the day-to-day grind. She's supportive in her way, but it's mostly moral support, if that makes sense. So, hearing her jump to, "Are you sharing the winnings?" felt like a punch to the gut. It brought back every lonely, exhausted night. Every time I wished anyone would just check in and see if I was okay. I told her a little cautiously that I wasn't planning on sharing the money. I wanted to set it aside to secure my son's future. Given his needs, I want to make sure he's cared for, no matter what. Plus, I had some debts to pay off, and the thought of finally being debt-free was too big a relief to pass up. I explained all this to her, hoping she'd understand. But instead, she got quiet. After a moment, she sighed and said, "Well, that's really disappointing. Since then, things have spiraled. My siblings caught wind of the situation, and suddenly I'm getting texts and calls from both of them. My brother said something about money changing people, and my sister implied that I'd forgotten where I come from. My mom, too, has kept pushing, hinting that I'm being greedy and not thinking about the family. She actually went as far as to say, 'Your son needs a strong family around him, and you're ruining that by being selfish.' Every time I try to explain myself, they either deflect or make it seem like I'm crazy for even thinking of keeping the money to myself. They keep saying things like, 'You don't need it all,' or 'It's not like you're rich now.' But the thing is, to me, this is life-changing money. Not buy yacht money, but I can finally breathe money. I want to create a trust for my son, pay off my debts, and maybe, just maybe, allow myself to enjoy life without always worrying about the next bill. I'll admit, part of me feels like I'm overreacting, but another part of me is angry, really angry. Where was this whole family should be there for each other mindset when I was up at 2 a.m., crying in the kitchen because I didn't know how I was going to make ends meet? Where was it when I needed someone to watch my son just for a couple of hours to catch up on sleep? I can't ignore the fact that they weren't there when I needed them most. And now, all of a sudden, they're here. But for the money, it's been weeks of guilt-tripping, silent treatments, and little passive-aggressive comments. I've tried to explain myself multiple times, saying it's not about the money, but about finally feeling like I can give my son the future he deserves. They keep acting like I'm the villain, calling me selfish, and it's made me question everything. Am I being too harsh? Is it really so wrong to want to keep this for my son and me? Reddit. AITA for wanting to keep the winnings for my son's future and not giving it to my family who, honestly, hasn't been there when we needed them?